Hello and welcome to the mathematics class. This class is for class 9. Now today we are going to start with compound interest. Before we start with compound interest, I would like to go back to what you studied in class 8. Class 8 also you must have studied about compound interest and simple interest both. So I think you are clear with the terms principal, you rate principal is and then it is amount. What is principal? The amount you borrow or you give to somebody, right? So that is always in rupees. Rate is the interest on per 100 rupees. So that is why it is always calculated in percentage. So that is the rate is interest on per rupees 100. Then amount is your principal plus interest. The final amount means principal and interest that you are getting back. And then it comes time. Time is generally, you know what is the meaning of time. Time is generally in years. If it is not in years, if it is in days or months or whatever, you have to convert into years. And then so these are the basic things and I hope you know about them. Now there are two things. One is simple interest and one is compound interest. Simple interest is represented by SI, compound interest is represented by CI. What is the basic difference between simple interest and compound interest? The basic difference between simple interest and compound interest is that in simple interest, principal remains same. Principal is fixed or it remains same. But in case of compound interest, principal keeps on changing. Or generally you can say that principal always keeps on increasing. Let's take a very simple example. Let's say that find the simple interest. Find the simple interest for rupees 100. Time is 3 years and rate is 10%. Let's take a question and find the difference. Principal is rupees 100. Time is 3 years, rate is 10%. At the same time, we have to find the compound interest also. Data remains the same. So in this, you know that interest is equal to, simple interest equal to P into R into T upon 100, where P is principal, that is 100 given, rate is 10%, time is 3 years upon 100, so it becomes 30 rupees. That is the interest. So amount becomes 100 plus 30. So final value is 130 rupees. Suppose now the question is on the same given data find the amount but the interest is compounded or find the compound interest that way. Now in this case for the first year let us take the interest as I1. In this it was complete interest was considered as I, but in case of compound interest let us consider the interest for the first year as I1. So that will be P R and time is considered 1 year upon 100. Why 1 year? Because after 1 year whatever is the interest that will be added to the principal and that final amount will become the principal for the second year. So I am taking P1 as the principal for the first year, rate will remain same, time is 1 year upon 100. P1 is 100, rate is 10 into 1 upon 100, so this becomes rupees 10. This was the interest for the first year. Now it means that principal for second year is, or you can say that this rupees 10 means we can say that principal for the second year is rupees 100 plus 10, that is 110. Why? Because in the compound interest, after every year, the interest gets added to the principal, and that becomes the second or the next principal for the next year, for the next tenure. Now principal becomes 110. So interest for second year will be P2 into R, again for 1 year, upon 100. So P2 is 110 into rate is again 10% upon 100, 0, cancel, it became rupees 11. Now for the third year, the principal will be previous year's principal plus 11, that is 110 plus 11, it becomes rupees 121. Now interest for the third year will be P3 into R into 1 upon 100, that becomes 121 into 10 into 1 upon 100, that is 12.100, cancel, 121 means 12.1. So final amount becomes 121 plus 12.1, it becomes 133.10, you can say. Now you can find the difference. If it was rupees, if it was for same data, but it was in terms of simple interest, the final amount was 130. But if it was in the terms of compound interest, data was same, the final difference was rupees 133 and 10 paise. It means you can see that difference is quite big. Here it is 130, 133. Means 3 rupees 10 paisa. Everything is same. So what do banks do? They generally, when you put your money inside the bank, they give you the interest in this form. In this form. But when you take the loan from the bank, they charge you in this form. That is a very big difference between simple interest and compound interest. I hope now the concept is clear to you. Now we'll be starting with the exercise, and in this we will be using the doing first exercise, and we'll be doing the questions in the multiples of 3. I think the first exercise is exercise 2.1. So let's start with exercise. Okay, I have taken third question and I have written what is all required. The question reads, calculate compound interest for second year. Means you have to calculate the compound interest only for the second year when principal is rupees 8,000, time is 3 years, rate is 10%. First part. Second part, also find the amount, also the sum after third year. Sum means the amount after the third year. Sum due at the end of the third year. It is sum due at the end or after the third year. Sum due at the end of the third year means after 3 years how much amount is left. This you have to calculate. Now let's take for the first year. Interest for the first year will be principal for the first year into rate, time will be 1 upon 100. So interest principal is how much? 8,000 into time is 3 years, so we will be taking 1 year only, rate is 10% and upon 1 into 1 upon 100. 0, cancel, it becomes 800 rupees. Rupees 800 is the interest after first year. So principal after first year will be, that is P2. That you can say P2 or A1. A1 stands for amount after 1 year and P2 stands for principal for the second year. So you can say either A1 or P2, but P2 is quite a better term because it stands for principal. So that will be initial sum, that is 8,000, and plus interest, that is 800. So it becomes rupees 800, 8,800. Now this is the amount after the first year or principal for the second year. We have to calculate compound interest for second year. So interest for the second year, I am writing it as I2. Again same thing, you will write P2 into R into for 1 year upon 100, that will be 8,800 into rate is 10 into 1 upon 100, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel, final value is rupees 880. This is the interest, or you can say compound interest after the second year. So compound interest for the second year or after the second year is, this is the final value of interest after the second year. Now they say also find the sum due at the end of the third year. So we will calculate amount after second year or principal for third year, and that will be 8,800 principal for the second year plus interest after second year 880. So it becomes 080, 8 to the 16, and this is 9680 is the principal for the third year or amount after the second year. So now we will be calculating amount or sum due at the second year. So how much is the sum due at the second year? That will be, I'm writing it here, I3. We will calculate I3. I3 will be P3 into rate into time is 1 upon 100. So P3 is 9680 into 10 into 1 upon 100, 0, 0, 0, 0, it becomes rupees 968. So this is the interest after the third year. So amount will be, or amount after third year will be P3 plus I3, that will be 9680 plus 968, that will be 8 at 4, 10, 6, 16, 6, 1, 1048 will be the value, or this is the amount that is left after 3 years. Now the next question that comes is question number 6. The question says, I'll read out the question. The question reads, a person invests 10,000 for 2 years at a certain rate of interest. We don't know the rate of interest. And after first year, at the end of the first year, this amount or this sum becomes 11,200. Means a person invested 10,000 and after 1 year it becomes 11,200. So you have to find out two things. First, at what rate of interest he invested. Second point, find the amount at the end of the second year. The first part, you know that interest after 1 year, we know that amount is always equal to interest plus principal. Amount is given 11,200 is equal to interest, principal is 10,000. It means that interest will be amount. It means that interest will be amount minus principal. So amount is 11,200 minus 10,000. So it becomes 1,200. This is the amount. This is the interest after 1 year. It means we can, with the help of the formula, we can calculate the rate. We know that interest is equal to P into R into T upon 100, and we know that time is 1 year because at the end of the 1 year they say it becomes 11,200. So 1,200, principal is 10,000 into rate we have to find, time is 1 upon 100, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. So we can say R is equal to 1200 upon 100, it means 12%. First answer we got that rate of interest was 12%. Now we have to calculate amount at the end of second year, second part. You can see that amount at the end of first year is 11,200. It means you have to calculate the interest at 12% for one more year, and that interest will be added to the amount. So what we will do, interest for second year, I am writing I2 is equal to principal for the second year, rate 12% time 1 year upon 100. Now principal at the end of principal will become, it is 11,200, rate is 12%, time is 1 year upon 100, 0 0 cancel, 0 0 cancel, it 12 2s are 20, 12 144, 1441, 1344. It became 1344, that was the interest. So amount will be this principal plus this interest, that is P2 plus I2. So that will be 11,200 plus 1344. It becomes 3 and 2 5, 1 and 1 2, 4 4, 3 and 2 5, 1 1 2 2 5, 12544 is the total. It's right. 125 rupees, 12,544 is the total amount at the end of the second year. I'll revise it. What we did, we calculated the rate of interest. I hope you know how we calculated. It is given that principal is given, amount is given. We calculated the interest. Interest is 1200. We kept into the formula PRT upon 100. We got it as 12%. We know the rate of interest. We know the final amount at the end of the first year. Simply put in the formula and solve it out. We got the total value. That's next question is question number 9. Find amount and compound interest for 2,000 rupees, that is the principal at 10% rate of interest, and time is 2.5 years. So we will find the interest. First I1 will be the interest for the first year. That will be P1. P1 I am writing, P1 is 2,000 rupees. Rate is 10%. Time is 1 year upon 100. You can solve it. It becomes rupees 200. So interest is 200. It means amount after first year, that is A1, will be 2,000 plus 200, that is rupees 2,200, which becomes principal for the second year. I am writing P2. Now we will calculate interest for the second year. That becomes P2, that should be 2,200 into 10 into 1 upon 100. So this becomes rupees 220, that is amount after the second year, that is 2,200 plus 220, that becomes rupees 2,420. It becomes P3, or principal for the third year, or amount at the end of the second year. Amount at the end of second year, or principal for the beginning of third year. Now in the third year, it is not complete year, but it is only half year. So time will be considered 1 upon 2. Here we calculated 1 year, but in this case we will calculate time as half year. So interest for the third year becomes principal for the third year 2420 into 10. For time it will be 1 upon 2 and 100 for rate of interest. This 00 to 121. So interest is rupees 121. So that is amount at the after the third is 2420 plus 121, that is 2541. That is the amount at the end of the third year. You have to calculate amount at the end of the third year as well as compound interest. Now interest will be, what is the interest? Interest is final amount minus initial principal is the interest. So final CI or compound interest is final amount, that is 2541 minus 2000, that becomes rupees 541. That is the final value, as well as this is the final value. Okay, by the time we have done few questions based on the compound interest, I hope that you must have been clear with the concept and how to use the formula for simple interest to calculate the compound interest. Now this is question number 12 I have taken, and this I am not going to solve it, we'll just discuss it. They say find the amount in compound interest for principal 17,000, time is 3 years, and rate is different for all the years. For the first year it's 10%, second year 10%, third year 14%. What you are going to do? We will calculate the interest for the first year. Let us take this principal as P1. So P1 into R1 into 1 upon 100. Whatever comes, let's say it comes I1. It comes I1. For example, let's say it comes X. It comes X. For example, it comes X. Now this will be added. Amount will become X plus P1. This amount will be X plus P1 will be this will be the amount at the end of the second year, or this can be considered as principal for the second year. Now interest for the second year will be your P2 into R2 into 1 upon 100. In this R2, here you will take 10%, this R1 also 10%. Now let us take this becomes X1. So amount after second year will be X1 plus P2. Let's say this becomes, let's say this is your P3. Let's say that this is your P3. We will calculate P3. Now I3 will be calculated by P3 into R3. R3 is given to you as 14% into 1 upon 100. Let's say it becomes X2. X2 means amount after the 3 years, that is X2 plus P3, and this will final amount, that will become final amount. This A3 will become final amount. Now you have to calculate compound interest also. So what will be the compound interest? Compound interest will be the final amount minus initial principal. So whatever comes, that is your final compound interest. Only I have solved everything except the calculation part is left for you, so you have to practice with this. Now we move on to the next one. Okay, question number 15. In this question it says that Vikram borrowed 20,000 from bank at 10%, and he took this complete 20,000 and gave to his friend Venkat, but he says, Vikram says that he will be charging him on compound interest, whereas he took the money from the bank at simple interest. So you have to find the amount earned by Vikram while he charged compound interest. So I hope it is very clear that Vikram will be having some profit or earning some profit while giving or lending money to Venkat, because here he is charging on compound interest, but he is paying to bank in form of simple interest. First of all, let's calculate how much money Vikram has to give to the bank. So we'll calculate simple interest. Simple interest, you know, it is PRT upon 100, 20,000 into 10 into 2 to the 5 upon 2 years. 2 and into 100. 0, 0, 0, 0. 2 5s are 25, 2s are 50 and 0, 0. 5,000 is the interest. So amount is interest plus principal, that is 20,000 plus 5,000. It becomes rupees 25,000. It means that Vikram has to pay to bank 25,000 rupees. Now let's see how much Vikram is earning from his friend Venkat. So in this case, we'll calculate I1, that is interest for the first year, that is principal 20,000, rate is 10%, time is 1 year, upon 100, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancelled, it became rupees 2,000. Now this is the interest. So amount after 1 year, will be principal 20,000 plus interest 2,000. It is rupees 22,000. That is the principal for second year. After 1 year, he earned 2,000 rupees interest. Now, after second year, now we will calculate interest for the second year. That will be 22,000 into 10 into 1 upon 100. That becomes rupees 2,200. That is the amount after second year will be 22,000 plus 2,200. That is 20042. Third, that is 24,200 rupees. 24,200 rupees is the amount after the second year. Now we will calculate the interest for the third year, but that is half. For half we will calculate, this is 1, it will become 1 upon 2. So I3 will be 24200 into 10 into 1 upon 2 into 100, 0 and 121. That will become 1210. So amount after 2.5 year will be 24200 plus 1210. That becomes 41025. 25,410 rupees. This is the final amount his friend Venkat is giving to Vikram, and he has to pay to bank how much? 25,000. It means you can see that he is earning more from Venkat, whereas he has to pay 25,000 only to the bank. So what is the difference between the two? Difference, or you can say money earned by Vikram is 25,410 minus 25,000. So he is earning 410 rupees without doing any work. He took 20,000 from the bank at the rate of 10% for 2.5 years. So we calculated that he has to pay 25,000 in order to clear his loan. Same, the whole money he gave it to Venkat, but on compound interest, and we calculated that he is earning 25,410 rupees. So he is in 2.5 years, he is making how much money? 410 by just using his brains. So I hope we have done ample amount of questions based on compound interest which were not on direct formula. All these questions were based on finding the compound interest with the help of simple interest formula. Now I expect everyone to practice all the questions those who have done in this class. you are not supposed to do these questions, but the other questions which are left over, that you will be doing in your registers. I hope you have been told about the registers. Now next class will be about the formula. We will be finding compound interest and amount with the help of formula. So practice well, and in case you have any question in exercise 2.1 as your doubt, in this exercise you have any question as a doubt, you can just comment in the comment box. Exercise 2.1 question number 1 to 18, there are questions and I have taken in the multiples of 3. So whatever is left, if you want, you can just write question number this. I'll be solving it on the board and try to send you. Thank you. Stay home, stay blessed, and please like and subscribe and share. Thank you.